Today we are doing the Declaration of Independence, and it's going to be super difficult. I'm not going to lie to you, it's hard. There's huge words, but we do them in small little chunks. But I'd always like to be honest with you. Yeah, this is a hard one because it's a piece of paper with lots of big words on it, but it is crazy important. And it's the reason that we blow things up every 4th of July. So I think this piece of paper is pretty important. The Declaration of Independence is also known as the most famous breakup letter that there is. So let's get started with this. Today, you're going to explain the events that surround the American Revolution, and a big part is declaring independence. Of course, you need to know Declaration of Independence. What does Thomas Jefferson have to do with this? John Locke, unalienable rights and grievance. Unalienable rights and grievance are two extremely important words, and actually, vocabulary is so important today, it is a whole chunk of our subject. Today is a 2-day lesson. So expect that this is going to take you longer than one class period. It will take you two class periods. So you shouldn't probably finish it in just today unless you want to work extra long to do so. You're already doing step one, which is watching the instructional video. Let's do a learning recap before we get started. So the war's begun, and y'all know that. Mercantilism is a cause, proclamation line, all the taxes, the most famous protest, which is going to be your Boston Tea Party, which leads to the Intolerable Acts, shutting down the busiest harbor, and then Lexington and Concord. You should have watched that video clip I gave you. It was pretty awesome. Students in class face to face loved it. They wanted to watch the whole series. I just can't do that. So it's the first battle of the American Revolutionary War. Why is it important? It's the first. So anytime you have the first battle, it's a big deal. A famous line comes out of this: the shot heard around the world. Nobody knows. It's a history mystery who shot the first shot at Lexington. But that is officially what starts the Revolutionary War in America. So the war has started. There's battles. And so the Continental Congress gets together. That is your men that represent each of the colonies. They're like, okay, we need a plan. These are not typically always the guys that are out there fighting. These are the guys that sit in a room and they make some decisions and keep the colonies organized. So before we get started, I want you to watch. I love this. I love this video. It's Too Late to Apologize, and you've got to watch it. It's super entertaining. Think about this. Um, you're upset with someone. Think you're breaking up with someone. I want you now to think of Great Britain as someone the colonies were dating, and it's time to break up with them, because if someone treats you badly, don't you want to break up with them? Sure, and that's exactly what the colonies are going to do. And they're going to write a letter, and they call this letter the Declaration of Independence. But I want y'all to stop and watch this because it's so hilarious. I love it. So watch this and then get back to me. So press pause and watch the video. Okay, so let's get started with the Declaration of Independence. We're going to rephrase it, and then we're going to get into some vocabulary. So you're going to click here for your assignment, and then it's going to open that up. And, oh, I forgot to press copy. So I need to fix that now. Okay, I fixed that. So when you are actually, let me get that to go away, percent. Okay, so when you click here, it'll make you make a copy. You'll open up your assignment. Let me explain how you're going to do this. We want to, of course, so we can see, you're going to tell me who wrote the Declaration of Independence. This is easy to memorize. It's TJ, good old Thomas Jefferson. When the colonies decided we want to break up with Great Britain, let's write a letter. Now, also think about this like as a divorce. When a married couple, I know this might sound depressing. So when two people are married and somebody or they both want a divorce. So you go to the person and say, I want a divorce. Are you divorced right then? because you said you want a divorce? No. You have to go to court. Sometimes you have to get lawyers. You have to have it signed off by you, the other person, and a judge. Then the divorce is final. So the Declaration of Independence is like the letter saying, I want a divorce. Is it over? No. You have to go through, in this case, a war to decide if you get the divorce or not, actually. So a lot of people think Declaration of Independence, oh my gosh, we're independent. We're the United States of America. When you have the 4th of July and you celebrate it, you are not celebrating America's independence. You are celebrating the colonists being excited that they finally are brave enough to break up, to ask for the divorce. So I will tell you, on July 4th, every summer, if you've ever watched fireworks or you set off fireworks or you have a little family party or whatever, we were not independent as America. We will not be independent until we win the war. The Declaration of Independence is declaring independence. I can declare I am king of the world. Just because I declare I'm king of the world, does it mean I'm king of the world? It does not. So the colonists are declaring independence. It doesn't mean that they are independent. So I'm gonna. It's written by Thomas Jefferson. Imagine how nervous you would be if someone said, "I need you to write the most important document ever." So TJ was the one to do that. So just type here Thomas Jefferson. Okay, y'all ready for the hard part? In all of these, I have I want you can press play and you can hear me speaking these, reading it to you. Why? Because it's hard. And so I thought it'd be easier instead of this video, you can click here at your own pace and read it. The preamble is the introduction to the Declaration of Independence. And then I read it to you. What we're doing is we're rephrasing it into a way we understand, because you can't pretend you read this and it speaks clearly to you, because I have to read it several times. I have a college degree in history, and I'm not going to pretend that this is the easiest things that you will ever read. It's not. So we're going to make it, though. We're going to force ourselves to put it in a way that we understand. Here's what you do. Here's the example. So you'll click this. I read it to you. It's the preamble, but I'm going to read it to you now. Do you see where, though I have these lines, these arrows? It's because I'm taking big words and I'm making them simpler so that y'all can understand them. In my face-to-face kids, they just mark it out and they write the easier word and read it that way. That's step one of slightly understanding what we're reading. So let's read the introduction. When it becomes necessary for one people to end the political ties which have connected them with another, a decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which force them to separation. Oh, I love this introduction. It's saying, I'm going to break up with you, but because I'm so respectful, I am going to tell you why we're separating, why I'm ending this relationship. That is genius. I love how the Declaration of Independence does that. So how can we rephrase it? When you break up with someone, you should respectfully tell them why. You want to know too much of my personal life? I broke up with someone and I never told them why. And very interesting. I just kind of, what do they all call it these days? Ghosting. Yeah, I guess it's not the respectful thing to do. You're supposed to break up with someone and you tell them, well, I'm breaking up because you did this, you said that, you did this. So that's what the Declaration of Independence is, this awesome breakup letter where the colonies are telling Great Britain all the reasons I hate you because I hate you because. Okay. So that's how we're going to kind of do this. Now we're going to go to the main idea. There's 3 parts here. There's a lot of words right here that I have made easier that you're going to read. If you were doing this on paper, I would be telling you to mark out these words and read it that way. So you'll see I'll be adding the other audios right here so I can read it to you. Here's your answers. You got to drag them to the correct spot. So you're going to read something. So we hold these truths to be obvious, that all men are created equal, that they are given by their creator with certain not to be taken away rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Unalienable rights is going to be plastered over a test. You have to know unalienable means not to be taken away. So I'm going to read that. I'm probably going to read them all 3. And then I'm going to match these, drag these, click and drag and put them where I think they go. So after reading this, what do I think that that means? We hold these truths to be obvious. So Great Britain, I mean, the colonists are saying, look, we're going to give you these reasons. And we think it's like, duh, you know why we're breaking up with you. Kind of like if someone in a relationship cheats on someone, I'm breaking up with you because you cheated on me. Duh, you know it. I know it. So they're saying, I think that this is obvious. um, that there's certain rights you should have, and Great Britain has taken those away. So, which one of these is what I just read, but in simpler terms? We must create a government created by the people to defend our rights. If a government turns evil, the people can get rid of it and create a new one. It's obvious that all men should have the basic rights that no one can take away. Well, that's what we're saying. Well, we think it's obvious that we should have life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, and no one should be able to take them away. Well, basically, they've done that. So, what I'll do is I'm going to move these out of the way, and I'm going to move this up and say, okay, that's my answer for this one. Now I'm going to read these two. Guys, I put these words here because I read them in simpler terms because it makes me where I understand it. So now I have these two right here, and I'm trying to figure out which goes where. Okay. So you're going to be figuring that out. It's not easy, but I know that you can do it in these small chunks. So let's go to the second page, my favorite part. These right here are the grievances. Super important. So I'm going to write that word right here. These are the grievances. That means these are the complaints. These are the I hate you because comments. I love, okay, so that's what the word grievance means. You got to memorize it. It's a complaint. It's I hate you because. So, all these supporting details written in our declaration are all the reasons we are breaking up with Great Britain. I love it. It's beautiful. So, remember, this is a breakup letter. Do you know that this would mean nothing if we didn't win the war? The Declaration of Independence would be nothing but a piece of paper that means nothing. But because we won the war, it makes this declaration very valid. All right. So, my favorite part, I hate you because comments. So here's the same thing. I kind of put them in different colors so it's easy for you to move it around, but I hate you because. So look at this. Some of these are really, really hard. I'm just going to tell you, some of these are really hard. Um, so I need to add, and I will be adding the vocabulary of the easier words to help you out on here. So when you're watching this, when you open up your copy, you're going to see some things that'll help you. So, for example, assent right here means approval. And when you read the word relinquish, that means to let go. Or else I think you'll be okay on the words. He has refused his approval to laws, the most wholesome and necessary for public good. So, what is he saying? What they're saying is, we needed laws in the colonies that were good for everyone, for all of the public, and you refused to approve them. Basically, the king was like, I don't care about what stupid laws y'all need. So, what? Which one of these would talk about the king refusing to pass laws that were needed for the colonies? So you'll have to kind of move things around. So you'd move things out of this place after reading these and find out which one of those are in simpler terms. Um, so you're looking for that. These only have one right answer for each one. I suggest you read through these and do the easiest ones first. So for quartering large bodies of armed troops among us. So we saw that in Lexington and Concord. Quartering troops means to like your sleeping quarters. That's where you sleep. During the French and Indian War, Great Britain said if a British soldier knocks on a colonial door, you better feed that British soldier and offer them a place to sleep. The colonists hated that. And so, for quartering large bodies of armed troops among us. So sometimes those are a little easier to look through here and find it in simpler terms. But this is a difficult part. If you need me to walk you through it and help, more than welcome to. But I think that you can work through this. You will be able to in these small chunks. Do the ones that come to you that are easier first, and then I think it'll be easier to place the other ones. Okay, so the last part, the conclusion. Again, when you're looking at this, there'll be audio files here. So there's two answers that go here. Once you read this, which one sounds like what you're reading in simpler terms. So the word oppressions means unjust actions, bad actions that you don't really have a reason for. So in every stage of these unjust actions, we have petition for redress in the most humble terms. So I love this because he's basically saying, we have asked you nicely to help us and you are refusing. I really love the Declaration of Independence, and I love how Thomas Jefferson wrote it. I love the idea behind it. I love every part of it. So I just need you to, I mean, there's things about it not perfect, but I need you to read this and read this one and decide which is that written in simpler terms, the way we talk and the way we understand it. And again, when you're watching this, you're going to see that there's audio files and I'll read it to you. So that helps you. Okay. Um, I hope you understand that the Declaration of Independence does not mean we're independent. It is the most famous breakup letter in American history. And we are breaking up with someone and we're going to tell them all the reasons why and make sure they understand that they were not a good partner. And we're explaining to them why. Okay. So the last part of your assignment is your vocabulary. And it's really important. So, unalienable rights, that is life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And that's what you'll type right here. And there'll also be an audio file. We are saying that every human on this planet, we don't care who you are. If you are a breathing human, everyone should have certain rights: the right to live, the right to freedom, and the right to pursue happiness. And so the colonists are saying Great Britain has taken that away. So this is where you'll type life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And a way to remember that is I say, if you are not an alien, you are human. So unalienable rights. So because you are not an alien, you are human and you deserve unalienable rights. Something that we'll practice a lot for you to memorize that. Grievance. That's I hate you because, but the fancy definition for that, you will be typing, it's a complaint. You got to memorize that word. Here's two men that I don't really have a big lesson on, but I teach you as a vocabulary word. I am attaching this. Not this. I'm attaching a PowerPoint to this where I do tell you. So it's an introduction to the Declaration of Independence. It gives you what grievance is, so you'll know what to type in there. And then I tell you about Thomas Paine. So the best thing to do on that assignment, I would say, you can go through and read this, but I'm also going to put in an audio file for you. So who is he? And John Locke. That's as simple as what I'm going to do. But here's the basics of it. Thomas Paine writes a book, a pamphlet, really, called Common Sense. He's like, duh, it's common sense that the colonies should not be part of Great Britain. And he tells people this. He's like, it makes no sense that y'all are a part of Great Britain. You should be your own country. And that's the big part is he influences a lot of people by saying it's common sense, y'all. You should be not with Great Britain. You should be independent. And then John Locke is the one that comes up with unalienable rights, the life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. So he says, hey, lock in your rights. Y'all should have life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Thomas Jefferson is majorly influenced by this, and that's why he adds it to the Declaration of Independence. And then here's TJ himself. He's like, yeah, I wrote the Declaration of Independence, pretty famous for it. He will also be a future president. He's going to do like lots more big things than just the Declaration of Independence. So I will attach this for you to refer to, but I'm trying to keep it simple, and I'll put audio files here that you have to listen to be able to answer those. Okay. But this is vocabulary that you have to have. So I'm giving you the resource for that. Okay. So I know this seems kind of fast. You're going to have to work through a lot of this because you're just not here with me, but I will be more than glad to answer any questions. Okay, so we have worked through our assignment, right? It was kind of difficult. We had to reread a tiny little sentence a lot of times. So now we're going to practice. And I'm telling you, this is going to help you. So either click on this link to do the quizzes, or you can go to, I have to pause this because we have announcements. So let me pause. Okay. So here you have your quizzes. Guys, I know this is going to help you be successful. So press this link. You go here, it's going to take you to the same place. You have the ability to practice this as many times as you want. If you are struggling answering these questions, you are going to struggle with the quiz. You're going to struggle with the Declaration of Independence. It so please, this is to help you with the information, kind of digest what you did with the Declaration of Independence. When I ask you questions, because it's important, okay? And so really go through there, and it'll help you with the vocabulary. This is great practice. I want to see you do it multiple times. Quizzes is a great thing that we have. When you are done and feel like, man, I'm ready to take a quiz, you will go to a separate assignment. It's going to be assignment number 9, and it will have 6 questions, and you only get one time to complete it. This assignment will not show up until tomorrow because this is a 2-day assignment. Everything you've had to do here is kind of a lot. And I suggest not, I mean, you can pace yourself the way you want, but this slide number 4 in your assignment is going to take you a long time. So, tomorrow, Wednesday, you will go to Google Classroom, look for assignment number 9, and you will take it. You get one chance. The problem with my virtual learners is you are just trying to blow through your assignments and, like, oh, here's a quick quiz. Let me take it 6 questions. And you fail it with a 15 or 20, and that is not okay. Because then I go back and I see what you did on quizzes. I'm like, oh, they took it once and made a 19. No wonder. I'm giving you all the tools. And I'm not saying this for everybody because a lot of you are doing amazing, but I will say a lot of people aren't either. And it's not because you are not capable, it's because you are not using the tools you have been given to be successful. So, the Declaration of Independence. Wow, is this a difficult one? But it's super famous. July 4th, we blow up things to say, wow, we're breaking up with someone and we're so excited we have the bravery to do so. Side note, you're going to learn that the king just laughs at the piece of paper and basically throws it away. But on our side, we think it's super exciting. So you're going to go through here. Please ask me if you have questions because I know that our assignment is difficult. Okay. But you can do it. I know you can. You'll do the quizzes for practice and then your quiz. Okay. Good luck to you. Let me know if you have questions. Declaration of Independence, Thomas Jefferson, grievances, breakup letter. You can do it. You can master it.